Hey, afternoon, everybody. You know the drill.
How you guys doing on sound and video?
Guys, good?
Good.
Cool. So, hey, I know I haven't been here for a few weeks, so good to be back. I've been in the office most of the time, other than actually last week I wasn't in the office. My son had an exhibit that he had worked on, so I wanted to, go over to where he's at and see it. So that was pretty cool. Look, it's going to be. I'm going to try to, well, I don't know, whip through this fairly quickly, and then a short Q&A because we are deep in testing to try to get the hatchery, to get the current version of hatchery moved over to fledgling, so we can reopen IT testing both on hatchery and on fledgling over the weekend. We'll let you know. I literally was getting killed by Rob a moment before I sat down here. So I think he killed me twice in a row, as a matter of fact. Archers are so OP right now. Anyway,
It's so much fun right now.
Yeah. So we are absolutely hoping to get you folks, the IT folks, at least back in over the weekend. And next week, if all goes well, we'll have even more tests. And hopefully soon after that, we'll be ready to get some of you alphas in to see our progress. Having said that, let's go to the top 10-ish. Number one, what a surprise, Saturday Night Siege tech. A whole bunch of things went in for death matches, everything from progression to updating the spawn points, to working on bugs that were a result of new code. It's just lots of stuff, and it's lots of good stuff, because for the first time in a long time, we have felt like we are making a game again, which is great. We felt that way obviously before the rehab, and now we're getting back to that. So happily creating characters, and again, getting killed by Rob or Matt apparently. But it's all good. It's all fun, and it is coming very soon. Not soonish, very soon to ITs. Hopefully as soon as today. Number two, animation support. So just like the last update, Brad's been exposing the animation code to our dev UI and performance HUD, so we can see what's going on. Continue to make improvements on that, because look, if we want to actually ship this game sometime before the next millennium, being able to do all the animations we need to do and get them right is kind of a little bit important, and being able to do them quickly, even better. Number three, tools support. So Bull, our one and only tools programmer, has been adding lots of things to our set of tools. We got 3 bullet points, and I'll cover them in the update, which you'll be getting soon. Oh, by the way, there's also a user story update. Number four, bug fixes for the VFX system. As you guys who actually went to the forums to check the link we posted there to see the VFX demo saw, hey, we have VFX working again in the game, and working quite well. But quite well is not perfect. This is part of, this is obviously one of the reasons we do testing, and so we found a few bugs. Bugs are now being fixed. Number five, drag and drop. So drag and drop is, we talked about this in other updates. It's now in the second review, so you'll be seeing that in the UI also quite soon now. Number six, battle groups. So this is the, I think this is the only big sticking point to get big.
I was just going to say, we do that, and then we integrate it into scenarios.
Thank you. Yeah.
There's two.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. But the big thing is to being able to get not the large scale numbers we have already, like 3,000, but just to get to the point where we're in the hundreds or the thousands again in a scenario, not in the world, in a separate scenario and deathmatch. Obviously, very different things. Number seven, healer NPCs. So yeah, we've been adding melee and archer NPCs. So now we have healer NPCs, and they are going into the game as we speak. Number 8, progression tracking upgrades. Let's say updates, but upgrades. So, once again, this is one of the things that are kind of needed for SNS, for progression, and Christina's been hard at work tracking more things than ever, and you also see that in the SNS testing. Number 9, concept art. Michelle completed her pass on the TDD boat concepts, and also did an update to female NPC clothing. Number 10, hey, right after the concept art, female NPC clothing. So now we have clothing for female characters, or some female characters of Camelot Unchained. Number 11, VFX and SFX. So lots of feedback from the folks here who've been testing it, and really most of the company tests the game at least once a day right now. You know, I'm certainly going to be on my second.
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
I'm briefly going away, but I will be back by the time your stream is
Oh,
over.
okay. Bye.
A tree fell on my car.
Oh my God.
What?
What? Hang on,
I
stream.
wasn't in it.
Well, I know how. Like where? At home?
Yeah.
Oh, how bad? You know?
After the stream.
Okay. Oh God. So yeah, unfortunately, apparently a tree has fallen on one of Andrew's cars. So yeah, sorry for that. You know, real time news update. Suckage. VFX and sound effects. So yeah, we've been doing all that, and you know, as always, it's an iterative process. But if you've seen the VFX and SFX demo, you can see how much better it is now than it was, even at the height of the alpha test before rehabilitation. Looks so much better, sounds so much better. Number 12, SNS testing improvements. So yeah, Ben's been doing a lot of work on that, including giving you folks pre-built characters. Because look, we know our character system is complicated, and the crafting of your ability system even more complicated. And look, we've said this right from the beginning. It was one of the things that was in my document. We don't want you guys coming into testing and just go, do we have to recreate this all again? That's boring. That's also a little bit mean to have to do every time, or even do very often. So you guys will be able to come in with pre-built characters. You won't have to worry about your loadouts. And then when you leave, your original loadouts of an existing character will be changed back to normal. So you could create a character, be using it in SNSs, then for a specific test, we may want to have certain abilities or certain items on your character. You don't have to do anything. You come in, they're there. When you leave, they're there. Number 13, emote animations. So yeah, we did a first pass on emote animations a while back. Now that Brad has gotten things hooked up and working nicely, Sandra's doing a pass on improving them. Number 14, animation. So yeah, this is one of those ongoing items we might as well just put in, the top 10-ish every single week. Hey, more work on animations. This is going to continue until the day we launch and afterwards. So Scott's been doing a lot of work there. Sandra obviously has also been contributing on the animation side. Number 15, the environment. So Tyler made a joke here, so be prepared. Tyler spent his copious free time this week updating the SNS testing map. So come on, laugh hard for Tyler. Hey, laugh hard for Tyler in the stream. See, and he even said here, joke. So yeah, so he, and
there'd be someone going, why does he have so much time?
Exactly. And look, in all honesty, Tyler is one of those guys at the studio who really does work, crazy hours on so many different things, and we are very proud of his efforts on that behalf. Even if we throw a little shade his way.
Thank you for saying that. The other cool thing is the terrain system. I was thanking Andrew for its current state, because it makes things very easy.
Oh, okay. So thank you, Andrew, especially as you go back to your car, which has now been treed.
The TDD got it.
The TDD got it, yeah. So
there were a bunch of jokes.
Apparently, the TDD are not happy with the current build and are sending a message to the lead, here that they're not going to take it anymore. So tree incoming. Number 16 and the last on the list, character creation, backgrounds, and store UI. So James finished up his last pass on the animated realm backgrounds for character creation, and so that'll be in the next patch or update. And we've been doing work on the store UI as well. Update on me, and some of you folks know this already. I've been, up to my armpits in gaiters, dealing with things that have nothing to do with designing Camelot Unchained. I am hoping that the vast majority of my time will actually be able to return to that fun task by the end of, hopefully next week, but most likely a couple weeks. So hopefully in a little bit we'll have something to talk about. So that's it. Again,
that was a quick run through.
Yeah, thank you. I am going to try to keep this really short. I want to get back to testing, and then we have our scheduled test at 5 o'clock. I am really excited, even if I don't look it, to begin to show this stuff to you folks. It feels so different. Is it perfect? Oh my God, no. Is it ready for prime time? Nope. Is it ready for IT? Getting there. And hopefully, again, getting there within the next 2 hours. And if not, I don't see any reason based on the things we're tracking down now as to why it wouldn't be ready next week. But hopefully today we are making an extra effort to try to get this done so our IT folks can look at it over the weekend. So yeah, this is going to be a short, hopefully sweet session. So 15 minutes, that's it. And I want to get back to game testing. So question away.
Yeah, you missed Andrew's comment that when he's sitting there with you, it's not a couch, it's a love seat.
Aww.
And Me Huge asked, by testing, do we mean playing? Yes, we do mean playing. This is killing each other.
It means killing each other, absolutely. That's the whole point, certainly of the scenarios. We're not going to be opening the true Saturday night sieges yet, because they're not ready. But when we do testing during the week, or the weekends that we're part of it, we'll be running scenarios, starting them up for you folks, and you'll be able to get in and kill each other for fun, just for fun, and testing too, but for fun mostly.
Okay, so Sacrix buttered me up plenty before we got to the Q&A, so we'll start off.
Oh, that's why the seat is sticky.
Yeah, no, you missed it all. How I could be his hero. So, question: what exactly did you mean by old school, niche, and fluid game? Along with this, how are you going to handle when people throw FPs, twisting of things, at you down the line, while saying this is not the game you sold or promised for whatever system they don't like?
Well, I mean, that is a very long answer, and I'll keep it very short. The bottom line is as I've said on the forums, as I've said from the beginning, it's right on the Kickstarter main page, that this is an old school game, but we're not afraid to mix in some things that the old school games didn't do right. We've done that already. Certainly, if you look at what we've done with groups and guilds, you could go very old school and say there aren't any guilds, or that the guild and grouping system is incredibly, sparse, and we haven't done that. So whether it's twists, whether it's our aiming system, whether it's whatever that some people will complain about, because that's the nature of making games. You can't make everyone happy unless you're making a game just for yourself. On the other hand, I know some people who, even if they made their own game, they wouldn't be happy. So yeah, that's how we're going to handle it. Look, we have to make a call at the end of the day, and that is, what do we think belongs in that game, in this game? I expect some people will disagree with some of our choices. On the other hand, if you look at the foundational principles, we have not strayed from a single one yet. So if you believe in the foundational principles, if you believe in the things I've said and we've said publicly, we're not throwing a change up at it. So certainly so far we have no major change ups planned for gameplay, and even the Saturday Night Sieges, none of this is supposed to change the nature of the game. We've always said there'll be battlegrounds for new players. We've always said that we want to find a really effective way to test the game with our backers, not with an external Q&A group, with our backers. And that's what the scenario tech is for. It'll be great, it'll be glorious, because it's just a lot of fun, as we all know, to go in and beat the heck out of people. So this will help us do it in a better way, a more efficient way, and when it's tied with rewards as well, I can say fun and profit, and not just fun.
Rec has a good question about Dragon Circle and beta. How many beta phases will Dragon Circle testing last?
That's a great question.
There's a little more. Will the presence of Dragon Circle events extend the length of time for later betas so we have more time for open world RVR testing? Or how do you imagine the phases will go, generally speaking, with regards to what the focus will be?
Same question.
Yeah.
Lots of extra words. Yeah, great question, Rec. So, certainly beta 1. Duh, yeah, of course. At times, we will run it absolutely all the way through beta 4. Mainly because there'll be times that we'll want to test certain mechanics, certain class combinations. So I see the Dragon Circle as something always being part of Camelot Unchained's testing. It has to be. It should be. Because whether we call it a Dragon Circle or an SNS or a beta 4 testing scenario, it's all the same thing. There are times where we need to just say to people, hey, these are all the people we want to test this on. We want you to come in with 8 forest stalkers, or we want you to come in, with 30 Lucapans. And whatever it is we're going to need, the Dragon Circle, the scenario tech, and the other things we're building around it, that's what it's there for. And as many of you who've been through, true beta tests know, it's a much better way to do that than try to organize people without that to do the thing that you need them to do, especially when we are going to make it as easy, well, we are already, it's not we will, making it as easy as we are right now with the defined characters and loadouts.
ZeroMaz26. I see a lot of games recently who don't keep their character identity very well due to people complaining how this class has that and I don't. Will you guys keep classes very unique from each other, or will everyone be able to kind of do the same thing but in a slightly different way?
Oh, Zero, you know what I'm going to say to that. We made this game, we pitched this game, we've done everything around this game of having choices matter, right? Choices have to matter in classes or they don't matter in the game. I mean, realistically, I don't think you can argue that there are many other choices that are more important. Choosing your race, okay, that's a bit aesthetic, bit, as well, gameplay affecting. Classes are kind of all gameplay affecting, right? Oh, gee, when you decide to play healer, if you then want to use that healer as a ranged DPS guy, you're probably not going to have a lot of success. So, no, you don't have to worry about us changing it. You don't have to worry about us dumbing it down and, making it more homogeneous. That's not what I signed up for, and that's not what you folks signed up for. So, expect this game to be the game that we said it would be. And if some people bitch, guess what? They'll bitch. We know they will. We know no matter what choices we make, some people will be unhappy. We said that in the Kickstarter. It's right there. How many other Kickstarters do you know come out right on the first page or the front page and talk about we're not afraid to piss some people off? We're not. We're still not. So, yeah.
Okay, here's an easy one. Mr. Peace is curious, what is MJ and the team's stance on in-game seasonal events? A or nay to Christmas-themed events in CU?
Well, certainly seasonal events. I think the question for us has to be, do we want to make our own versions of the seasonal events? Do we want to create our own, apart from, the typical Christmas, Halloween, events? So, we'll see. I am for seasonal events. I think they do add something to the game. The question is, again, will it be Halloween? Will it be, Christmas or something else?
Veruca asks, will there be areas such as swamps or mountains with secret safe routes that can be discovered and used to advantage? Maybe plots built in the middle.
Certainly. That's something we would absolutely like to do.
What is your main intent from Strike JK? What is your main intent to provide players with a sense of pride and accomplishment?
Loot boxes.
Yo, you're terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I really had a tough time on that one. I couldn't decide whether to say loot boxes or grinding. No, the sense of accomplishment obviously comes from, not only what you do as a player in terms of your skills, in terms of your record, whatever it is that, floats your boat, or in some cases sinks a boat. If you're interested more in the PvP aspect, versus the, PvE crafting and things like that, it's all up to you. I mean, that's just the bottom line. This is not a game that's funded, by microtransactions. This is not a game where, achievements can be bought. They just can't be. You have to earn them. And as we've said from the beginning, it's not a matter of grinding, thousands of NPCs in order to get a little bit of better health, or even grinding player characters to get a little bit better health. This is a horizontal progression game. It's not about the grind. So, a lot of the more traditional, would be seen as traditional accomplishments, are not going to be achieved in the same way. Again, you can't level your way to glory and be able to, just kill a new player in one shot. You can't feed a crafter an almost infinite amount of material via a guild and get that crafter up, to top level very quickly. So that's what we hope, will be the accomplishments. The fact that you've done these things, that, you've made the effort to build your home, or you've made the effort to work in a guild and succeed in a guild, to get the additional skills, to get the additional bonuses, to, get rewards from the realm. And again, not by simply grinding, because that's not necessarily an achievement to most people, but simply being successful, and with the way our progression system works, by simply showing up and trying to do your job.
Okay, we've got a couple of shout outs for Dayak and us doing our thing the way we want to do it and making a good game. From Nanalook, since this is a good one for NPCs, first pass on NPC guards is on the Beta 1 feature list in user stories. Will the backers get a chance to test the NPC guard AI in combat before Beta 1 starts?
Maybe. So I think I might have said this many months ago, that the NPC guards is something that we would like to have, but I wouldn't hold up beta, because the guards for these homes that are in the safe areas up there, it doesn't make any sense. Would we like it to be there? Absolutely. We're going to already have some basic guard functionality. We do right now. I mean, again, you have NPCs, both melee and archer, and coming up with healers who can play a role. So will we have time to get in some really good guard NPC guard AI before beta? Hopefully. Will it hold up beta? Not a chance.
We
Zero
certainly
chance.
have some really good killer NPCs right now. Let's see. Sorry, the stream just kind of hiccuped up. Abduct Gaming asks, do you think there is a place in CU for the people who are obsessed with completing reams of achievements?
Oh, sure. Look, when you, and this goes back to the Realm rewards, we've said from the beginning, again, that we don't want people to grind their way to victory. The feeling that you just have to come on in every night and do nothing but, try to raid NPC guards, or even the depths. But for those people who want to do more, who want to have more kills, who want, to have a bigger home, who want to do more in the depths, absolutely. There needs to be things for them too. And that's the beauty as well of the horizontal system. And we've said this also, my God, from the beginning, that part of making this game successful has to be us thinking outside the box. We have to come up with rewards, with abilities, with other things that are not the typical, hey, you know, my Fireball 10 is 10 times more powerful than a Fireball 1. Or my armor is so, you know, powerful that, you know, no newbie can get through it. We can't go down that path. And frankly, it's a dead-end path for us anyway. So, you know, being able to do that and give you, or give the players who want to do more, rewards for it, it's challenging. There's no question it's challenging. But fortunately, compared to the other challenges we've had, not that big of a one. And since I am certainly one of the greatest believers in trying to think outside the box and taking risks, I don't think we'll have a problem coming up with, you know, interesting things.
Nanalook has a very great, very applicable question here. Other than stability, what are you most looking for in these first IT tests?
Fun. I mean, that's the bottom line. We never said alpha was going to be fun. That's for damn sure. We need beta, the beginning of beta, certainly, to have some fun aspects. You have to feel like, okay, I see the game emerging from, you know, its shell. It's not all fun yet. It's not balanced yet. The animations aren't finished yet. But that's not necessarily the most fun part. The fun part is actually seeing abilities working and them doing what they're supposed to do. Knowing that, you know, when you're an archer facing, you know, a melee guy, that the melee guy has ways to, you know, killing you before you can, you know, before you can get away if you start missing. You know, it's the stuff that you're going to expect to happen in the real game. And as soon as it starts happening here, and in the way we want it to happen, that's where this fun starts to come in. As well as the occasional frustration because the archer, you know, ganks you before you can reach there. You do hope he misses. Rob didn't miss.
Squeaky, your question up there, it's something we've answered pretty much every one of our streams, so I'm just going to skip that. I'm getting down to the end of applicable questions for today. Do you want to start wrapping up? We're at 4:29.
So looking for one good question. Sorry again about the very short Q&A, but I want to get back to testing, and we have a test at 5, and I want to see. I want to hear the results of the test I was just in before I jumped in here, because we really want to get this version for IT ready, you know, today.
Ooh, here's a good one. They're all just popping up right now, but this is a good one. From Latween. We all know how thankful you are for the support and patience of all the backers and for how awesome your team is. However, is there any technological advances that have occurred since the last MMO you developed that you are thankful for that have come from outside CSEU that will make your awesome team able to develop Camelot Unchained into the game that will make us backers thankful that we were as supportive and patient as we have been?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So first of all, our team, thank you, especially for your patience. You know what I'm talking about. Thank you for that. Technology advances. Oh my God, so many. First, you know, thanking NVIDIA for the 10 series cards, as well, of course, AMD, as they try to play catch up on the GPU side, and certainly the very interesting Ryzen chips and the latest Coffee Lake or Kaby Lake, I forget which lake, from NVIDIA. So I love that. More power, you know, is fantastic. You know, you won't ever hear us doing a Scotty imitation from Star Trek anymore, because when you look at, you know, the GPUs and the CPUs that are going to be available when we launch this decade, you can't ask for more power. I mean, that is one of the few good things about our delay. There are not many, and this is one of them. Look at the difference between the GPUs. So right now, the top, you know, NVIDIA card, what is the 1080 Ti, and that is head and shoulders faster than anything that was available in 2013 or 2015. And then when you look at certainly the new CPUs, from both NVIDIA and from AMD, you've got the kind of power that wasn't even, close to being on the table back in 2013. And thanks to this delay and to the great work of George and Andrew, as well as the whole team, but George on the, parallel library that allows us to do some of our magic, and, Andrew's own work along some of the same lines, as well as, of course, on our network end, and, graphics rendering pipeline, we're able to take advantage of all that power. And so one of the things that we said in 2013 that is certainly not going to be true when we launch is that our game is not going to look like I think a lot of you thought it would look back in 2013. I can guarantee that's going to turn out not to be true. So I apologize. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're just going to look a hell of a lot better. And we're a hell of a lot more powerful. The things that we can do today, thanks to, again, the awesome, CPUs and GPUs out there, is tremendous. And we're fortunate enough to have guys like Andrew and George who've contributed, so much beyond what you would expect, even a very talented programmer to deliver, talented programmers. And then when you have, the tech from NVIDIA, the PhysX system, which is used, we're using so well, and guys like Rob have spent so much time making even better and working with it to integrate it into, every aspect, or so many aspects so far of the game. I'm very grateful for that. Cloud technology certainly has expanded a lot since 2013. Prices have come down, but they're still too expensive, at least for us, as well as for other folks. But that still is a huge game changer for us, especially during testing. If this was back in 2009, we'd be on the rack somewhere at, what was MCI, and we'd be sending people there to restart the machines and kick them and figure out what's wrong and do all the things we used to have to do. And we don't have to do that now. So that's another big win. Good, Andrew? Oh, cool.
What?
Oh, cool. Card dealt with. What else? Other great technological, advances in the last 4 years.
I'll tell you, art tools are way better.
Art tools are way better, so that's good. Yeah, that's the big stuff. So anything else really great there?
No, they just went into a large argument about how we count years in the calendar. So that's what it devolved into.
Okay, how we count years here is 1, then 2.
I can throw in the last question here.
Yeah.
This is an easy one. From Zeramis, I've seen a lot of games that reward players for spending time in-game versus being efficient and performing well. For example, the longer you stay on, the more realm points you'll acquire, no matter how good you play. What will you do about this?
I had something like that back in Dragon's Gate. For those of you who are on there might remember that. Look, the bottom line is, if you are in the game, you should be, you're going to be rewarded for it. Are you going to be rewarded as much as somebody who's actively trying to do something? No, of course not. So it's that combination. Being in the world, yes, you're going to get some points, essentially, just to keep the explanation simple, for that. On the other hand, would you be better served by actually going into a dangerous area? Absolutely. Now, could you just hang out in a dangerous area and, earn some credit? Yeah, you will, because at least you're in a dangerous area. But are you doing anything? Well, if you're not doing anything, you're not going to earn anywhere near as much as you would by doing something dangerous. So those are the sorts of calculations. Those are the sorts of things we're going to be tracking. We can't. One of the things that I know I've said in multiple Q&As is that a lot of people are going to go out in any game, any RVR game, and there'll be nights where, you lose. There'll be also nights where you just are having trouble finding, a good engagement. Hey, let's go over that hill, and there's Mel Gibson and tons and tons of very angry people ready to kill you, and you've got your little group, and you kind of turn around and head in the other direction wisely. Then you head in the other direction, and there's another group of very angry people trying to get you. So, we want to reward people for at least making the effort, but not to the point of stupidity where, I don't know, I can't imagine a game that, would allow you to have a bot sitting there and you just sitting there the entire time. You earn enough credits to buy and unlock things. Yeah, we're not gonna be that dumb. At least I hope not. And if we are that dumb, we'll fix it. And then I'll take responsibility for it, because we shouldn't have been that dumb. Anyway, so folks, I'm over time budget, so I want to end it now. Again, I really want to get this IT version or this version up to IT. Stay tuned to your emails. If you're IT, we will be sending out a special, hey, we're reopened, either hatchery or fledgling, for IT testing with an explanation, of what you can expect there. Also expect an update from us. It's Friday again, so you'll get the typical update, plus it's a user story update. So you'll be getting lots of info on what's been going on here the last few weeks. And so that's about it. As always, folks, we thank you for your support. We thank you for your patience. And the fun is coming sooner, not soonish, sooner rather than later. It's been a long haul, and I'm very happy to say that there's a lot of laughter and the occasional cursing in the office again, and that is a good thing, especially since it's caused by getting your ass kicked in the game. The phrase "poor Vikings" has been heard way too often, and I've been playing a Viking, which is probably why they're saying "poor Vikings," because I'm playing on it. So that's it. Hopefully, I'll see some of you folks in the game soon.
And since Mark can't see the chat here, thanks for all the well wishes. There's a whole bunch of that coming through, and we really appreciate it. Okay.
Have a good weekend, all.